Jackson, Mississippi just hit its 79th and 80th homicides of 2024 to bring us up to the total of 80 for the year. Let's talk about how we got there today and then take a look at how we're tracking compared to 2023. As you see, there it is right there on the screen in all its glory. The only city in Mississippi whose news channel has a homicide tracker specifically for it. Jackson, Mississippi. Chokwe and Lumumbas city without a soul. That's right. They got their own specially dedicated homicide tracker, and it's sitting at 80 of them. Wow, man. Can you fathom? Let's do this real quick. We're sitting at 80 on this day in history, 9/4/24. Basically on the closest day in history we can get to last year, 9/5/23, just one day off. They were sitting at 91. So they're 11 off last year's pace. 11 off. Now, last year they finished with 116. So at that pace, we would still, in fact, break 100 homicides. But I know my Jacksonians that they may be the underdog, but they're going to come from behind. They'll beat last year's record. I have faith. They're going to do it again. If they are to break 100, at minimum, it puts us 2020, 21. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be 5 years in a row that they've broken 100 homicides. The last year they stayed under 100 homicides was 2019 with 83 homicides. At 2024, again, sitting right now at 80. So I definitely, with September, October, November, December, 4 months to go, bruh, they got this. They may finish with 120. 120. That's the number I'm calling. They're going to average 10 a month to sit with 120. All right, let's jump over here to the first homicide of the day. Sorry if it sounds like I lack empathy for this. I just, it's just reached that point where it's hard to take any of it overly serious. However, this one we will show some sympathy for. This is sadly, a man is on the run after allegedly killing his mother in Jackson. What kind of, I thought they put the mother on the pedestal, the patriarchy in the Democrat community. What could have possibly gone wrong for this man to kill his mother? Let's shoot it over to WLBT and see what they got to say. Howard Ballou.
Jackson police continue the search for a man accused of killing his own elderly mother. JPD just releasing his picture minutes ago. Take a look at your screen, 3 on your side. First on the scene at the tragedy on Carver Street.
All right, so that's Jerry Banks. That's right here. That's him right there on the screen. Do you know this man? Looking like a mid-90s No Limit rapper. Jerry ain't shooting blanks Banks.
JPD officers received a call about an argument in the area after 11:30 a.m. And when officers arrived at the home, they found 63-year-old Louise Banks Torrens dead inside. Detective Tommy Brown says she died from blunt force trauma at the hands of her own son, 42-year-old Jerry Banks. Detective Brown also says he tried.
What is that? Is that guy wearing a bib? What is he wearing? Never mind.
Harming other family members right after that, and Banks ran away before officers arrived.
Well, our hearts and prayers go out to this family. It's our understanding that many of the family members are here at this time, and some of them lived in the general area of the where the incident took place. We're going to be praying for them, and our hearts go out to them.
If you know where Banks is, call JPD or Crime Stoppers.
Start snitching, folks. Make your neighborhoods safer. Start snitching. Call them cops. Tell them where they at. Tell them that dude hanging out down on the clean side of the Mr. Biggs family. Let them know where he's at. Get him off the damn street. He's out here killing his mama. If he'll kill his mama, he'll damn sure kill you and your mama. He'll kill Big Mama. He ain't got no soul. He fits right in Chokwe and Lumumbas city without a soul. Don't forget, men, Clearly another low testosterone male out here committing violent crimes, allegedly, against his mother. He's probably all chemically imbalanced. He should have used my free testosterone screening coupon and gone and got his testosterone screen, got it leveled out, and he'd be just fine, most likely. You can be too. Text my name, Clay, 601-327-8550. If you're suffering from any of these symptoms, you could be suffering from low testosterone, fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, and sleep disturbances. If y'all don't know, low libido means your sex drive. If you ain't waking up with the morning wood, you could be suffering from low testosterone. They're going to get you hooked up with a free screening right out there in Madison, Mississippi at 120 Fountains Boulevard. That's Men's Health in Mississippi. One last time, text my name, 601-327-8550. Text Clay to 601-327-8550. And hey, fellas, if you need to lose 20 pounds or more and you just can't quite get across the hump, can't quite get the motivation to get started, text weight loss to that same number, and we got a product for you that you might want to try. It's something I'm currently doing myself, and I'm seeing wonders with it. And it's so much cheaper than anything Ozempic related. You don't even have to have insurance to get this, but it does come from a doctor. Just text weight loss and ask them about semaglutide. Text weight loss to 601-327-8550. All right, on with the news. Let's go to homicide number 2 of the day here in Jackson, Mississippi. I went to go see a movie yesterday. I went to go see me and my buddy Sean Yurtkaran, my co-host on the radio show, decided to go do a little work research and see the movie Reagan. And while we were in there, no sooner than we sat down, we got this notification that another homicide had taken place in Jackson. Now, is this the one where they found the man in the burned out vehicle, or is that a third one? Let's find out here. Again, going back to WLBT.
Police are also trying to find out who's responsible for killing a person in the 100 block of Cedars of Lebanon today. Detectives learned the victim had been shot at this location. He was pronounced dead on scene, and his name is not being released until his next of kin are notified. Contact Jackson Police or Crime Stoppers if you have any.
All right, hold on. So there's another one then, because there was one where they found a man in a burned out in a burned out vehicle, and that was neither one of those. So let's scroll through the WLBT news here real quick. Yeah, okay, so this may not have been in Jackson. It may have just been in Hinds County. Same thing. Dead body found inside burned car, sheriff says. Gotcha. This is Lawrence County, so this isn't Jackson. So no point in really even hitting that. All right, so Jackson brought up to 80 homicides. I did see one story. You might as well hit here, and I'll make this just my morning news roundup clip. I just did a video too about continuing the war of words between Shad White and Sid Salter at Mississippi State over exactly what the Mississippi State University is doing with those DEI funds, those taxpayer DEI funds. Really good video. You can check that out now. It's posting the same time this video does. The city of Jackson the mayor's office is apparently stealing pothole money. Let's look at this real quick, because I'm going to talk about this on the radio show today, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 103.9 FM, WYAB. Quote, this becomes problematic. I love when Democrats use the word problematic, because that means things are effed up. This becomes problematic. Council questions why city failed to use the $700,000 set aside last year for pothole repairs. Oh, I got some sneaking suspicions why. Let's see what they got to say. This is my buddy Anthony Warren. Put this piece together at WLBT on the digital side. Says Jackson City Council members questioned Tuesday why hundreds of thousands of dollars set aside for pothole repairs last year never went used. Quote, we made a decision to put $100,000 in each ward, and that $100,000 just sat there a whole fiscal year. Council President Aaron Banks said, this becomes problematic. During a budget deliberation last year, the state allocated $700,000 in modernization tax money to go towards the pothole repairs. Each ward received $100,000 for the work. However, on Tuesday, Council members learned that the money had not been used and that the city was only beginning to develop a plan to address the potholes. Why can't these folks ever do anything more than develop the plan past stage one? They're just not multitasking type people. They're so busy freeing the land that anytime, they're able to put the plan down, they're able to talk about it, they're able to announce it, but implementation, I'll get the word right. Implementation is a real issue with these free land Democrats amongst the Chokwe Lumumba flock that came down here from Michigan. They just can't quite figure out step two once they make the announcement. They get the funds, and the next thing you know, you low in funds up. Anyway, said, quote, we're gonna do a term bid with several companies to go around and do repairing. Acting Public Works Director Lewis Wright said, I know it has not been done, but we've been talking about it. We're putting plans in place in order to implement it. And we're also going to produce a report to share with you in terms of where the potholes are located and the progress that we're making. The funds had been allocated for use by the Public Works Department. Wright did not say why the money was not used. Because they're lazy and they don't know. We're probably figuring out a way to try to steal it through some kind of minority set-aside contractor. Couldn't figure out a way to make it work. So now they're just having to spend it. Ward 5 Councilman Vernon Hartley said residents wanted action a year ago when the money was set aside. He says, quote, people have been complaining about these potholes every freaking day, and we're sitting on top of that money. And now we have a plan. He said, I'm not blaming any one person, but if you're not taking these priorities seriously, then what are we doing? He says, I don't know how to explain that away. Banks said he wasn't even sure the $700,000 would be available to do potholes, saying the city has other needs. The council has received requests to give police and firefighters pay raises. They also are being asked for additional funds to pay for demolition work and to hire more code enforcement officers. Last year, the city council was able to pay for raises by defunding unfilled positions in both the Jackson Police Department and Jackson Fire Department. This year, there are few, if any, unfulfilled positions to pull money from. Meanwhile, Deputy Director of Administration Sharon Timms told the council last year cuts didn't generate enough revenue to cover the additional pay and benefits. Wrapping up the article here, she says, we've got resurfacing projects and stuff that might happen with the 1% tax. We got stuff that might happen with the money that we bonded. We've got engineers that we hired that are talking about doing a whole list of things. Banks told Wright that $700,000 would have been great to spend in 2024. I think you missed your window. So long story short, he's saying, well, we're going to take that $700,000 back now, and we're going to spend it on some other stuff that we need, which to me insinuates that you don't have enough money to do the other things you need. But that's Jackson, Mississippi. These fools can't balance their own checkbooks. Half of them got bad credit. One of them just got federally indicted, pled, and charged in corruption, who was actually being sued to the point that her paycheck was being garnished. I'm going to go on a limb there and say she's got bad credit. I know one or two of the other ones that ain't paying their bills, ain't got jobs, and are also allegedly involved in these indictments. You got to start making sure people that run for these offices in Jackson got good credit and can pay their bills and actually have full-time jobs. And being councilman is not the full-time job. Don't let people who can't balance their own checkbook try to balance the city's checkbook. If I was running for anything, or if I'm a campaign manager for anybody, Kim Wade, anybody else, that's going to be the thing that we beat in their heads. They cannot even balance their own checkbook. How do you expect them to balance yours? This is the Clay Edwards Show. This was your morning news hit on my Save JXN YouTube channel, or maybe you saw it on Facebook, maybe you saw it on Twitter. It all emanates from YouTube. Would love for you to give me a follow, hit the like button, hit the share, drop a comment. What do you think's going on in Jackson? How many homicides do you think Jackson will finish with this year? What's your number? Under, over 120? I say 120. Where you at? See you on the radio. Stay safe, stay blessed, and don't stop at Jackson, Mississippi gas stations for nothing.